What AA basically says is that the power of healing comes in helping somebody else who's in that same position. So it's actually doing what you learn. And in that there's 12 steps you do. And there are various steps. You know, step 1 is you're out of control and it goes all the way down. And step 4 is a fearless moral inventory, all of those sorts of things. And it's a code to live by.
We're going to watch a film that we don't know what it's about, but yeah, we're all happy to be here and just to learn.
Our numbers are unbelievably strong, but yet we have no voice.
There's a lot of us. Everyone knows somebody.
I remember going out to the jail. We were going out to the jail and running programs. And this guy, he said, you know, all I can remember is going into the pub, putting a glass to my lips. He said, and the next thing I wake up and I'm in a prison cell and I've been told I murdered someone.
Our jails are full of addicts and alcoholics. They're all pulled up in one spot.
I had 10 years recovery and then I relapsed. I'd never used a needle. I was 49 and I stuck a needle in my arm. Ran with that for 8 years. In complete madness. It took me to psych hospital, it took me to jail.
As a person in long-term recovery from an illness that has no cure, but an illness that has a solution.
If we're the people not willing to put a face and voice on recovery, then the addiction problem is only going to get worse. The drugs and alcohol, the violence, the suicides, the depression.
I refuse to feel ashamed of who I am. I most certainly will not be embarrassed that I'm an addict. I'm going to tell whoever I damn well want to.
I got out of jail, thought I've been clean now 18 months, I'll stay clean. That lasted half an hour.
I was an intravenous heroin user at 20. Struggled with that addiction until I was 45, and the last 9 years I've been clean and sober.
I'm getting treatment for a drug and alcohol problem, a heavy drug problem that started about 6 years ago with heroin. I've been in the Who's now for about 30 days, and I'm learning a new way to live. Basically, yeah, the old ways not serving me anymore, and I'm trying to change my life at age 50.
The Who's clientele usually consists of people with drug and alcohol problems, sometimes gambling problems and other problems, but mainly drug and alcohol. They're to remain drug and alcohol free while they're there.
These are my people. These are my people. I just love it. I just love it.
There's a lot of us. Everyone knows somebody.
Probably about 26 years ago now, here in Ashfield, there was a knock on my door, and outside, it was a Saturday morning, and there was a woman, Barbara, there, and she said, I'm doing AA, she said.
And I'm doing step 4, which is a fearless moral inventory, she said.
So I have to give a fearless moral inventory of myself to someone, and I've chosen you. For about 3 hours, Barbara and I sat, and she went through her life forensically the whole time, the whole number of years that she'd lived. And she didn't spare anything, she just told it as it was. And I thought, wow, this is what you call bravery.
For every one of you here, there's 6 people out there who should be here. 1 in 7, 1 in 7. And then I learned that 5 years after doing the 12 steps, if you're still doing them, your life is better, you're better adjusted, you're healthier, you're more psychologically together, you're living a better life than people who have never been addicted to anything in their life ever.
Now, in this circle alone, how many of y'all have family or loved ones that vote? Raise your hand. Everybody.
And though not a religious organization, its 12-step program calls for belief in some power outside the individual.
I've seen people myself, 22 years clean or 18 years clean, 25, etc., go back to where they come from. Maybe because they've forgotten about that they're actually recovering.
Alcoholics should be dealt with like other sick persons, in hospitals and clinics, not in jails. Alcoholism, America's fourth greatest public health problem, can be solved by community action.
My particular drug of choice, and whether it's alcohol or it's eating or it's gambling or any addiction that you want to pick, if that takes you down to the extent where my addiction took you down, that's the difference.
New soldiers join this growing movement every day. People in recovery, their families, and their friends, coming together in the annual marches that began in September 2000. Celebrating what they've accomplished, making a statement about what is to come, and demonstrating that the new reality is not far away.
This is the one who's been putting this all together.
Every time I watch that, more and more sticks out, because this is really about a new language. You know, we're so used to identifying as an alcoholic or an addict. That's what I am, but that new language that they're talking is actually so powerful. And I'd like to just say that whilst we're in our 12-step fellowships, wherever you come from, okay, like that's important that we protect that and respect the anonymity, but while we're outside that fellowship, why not identify or tell people, I'm a person in recovery.
This is probably the biggest fight of my life. I don't want to end up like my mates that have passed away. So if I look like I'm going to cry or something, it's because of them. But this is probably the most serious thing I've ever done, and I really want to do it. So this movie's inspired me, and I'm going to do my best. Thank you.
The two hardest things in life I've learned is being a Christian, which I'm one, and someone in recovery who is fair dinkum about it and lives the program as best they can. It ain't easy, but if you want to die, get out there and have another go. If you don't, hang around and get in recovery and stay here.
I've been a millionaire in life. I've owned 2 homes and I became homeless when I went to jail. You know, and that's where addiction can take you. Same as the suicide, I'd had 4 or 5 goes at that. You know, I just think this is a great movement. Why shouldn't we stand up and be proud to be in recovery? You know, enough people put the boot into us when we're in addiction. You know, I was told I was a bit of shit. You know, no one wanted to know me. You know, even the crooks didn't want to know me in the end. You know, so this is a lot better way of life, and I just think it's terrific, the program.
You know, I've got a tattoo on my chest saying addict, and after seeing that film, I think I'll be able to wear that with pride. You know, it's a shame that the government doesn't invest money in that area, you know, that we're just basically walked over.
Now, change is really sitting in your hands. You are responsible for the change.
Addiction does not discriminate. I grew up a very privileged life. My low point came when I found myself in a public toilet shooting up public toilet water. So there is no divide.
Recovery is different for different people. It means things for different people. And in the mental health area, what we talk about in that area, we talk about recovery being that people are able to live a contributing life. A contributing life. What's a contributing life for people? The ability to have friends, the ability to have a family, the ability to be loved by somebody, the ability to get an education, the ability to have housing. So in a sense, the most important thing about recovery, and I'm speaking medically now, I'm not really concerned about the drug itself. The drug's there, it really is about what happens to the person. Are they able to live a contributing life?
The jails are full of them. The rehabs all over this country are full of us people who are putting our hand up and saying, let's have a go, let's fucking stay abstinent from drugs and alcohol, because that's the only way we can live. Otherwise, we're just going to end up the scum of society, like society likes to call us, you know. So I'm proud to be in this room. Thank you very much.
There's a song, what if God is one of us, just a stranger on a bus, trying to find his way home? And I think most of us are like that, living our lives trying to find our way home.